Danielle here. I think this is the first clip of my July vlog. Yeah, it is. So my pronouns are she, her, and it is July 6th. And what I'm about to show you is not the Christmas in July stitching that I had promised you at the end of the last vlog. However, just go on this journey with me. I have been doing, after I filmed my last clip, I did pick up my Home Alone piece and I've put some stitches into that, but I'm not ready to show that right now. I had to take a little detour because I have a friend coming in from out of town and we are sort of like, making and gifting things is like our love languages, So I had asked her, I was like, hey, could you give me like your top 5 favorite animals? And I was kind of hoping that like one of them at least would be an existing Quirky Quaker. And I was going to stitch her a Quirky Quaker. But the only one that she had that was already a Quirky Quaker was the fox. And that was like number 5. So I was like, okay. So her number 1 animal was a capybara. And I was like, all right, let me just go to Etsy and find a capybara pattern that I can stitch up real quick. And I found a few and I bought all of them, but then I asked my husband to pick which one he liked the best. And he picked this one. I'm gonna move you over to show you a picture on the tablet. Isn't he so cute with the little bird on his head? He is by La Selva Design. They do these incredibly cute animals. I did their red squirrel, and I have other ones in my wish list for sure that I need to buy and need to do. And this is their capybara. And it actually also came with like, it also came with little fruits on its head too, instead of the bird, like it was a separate pattern. So I went to the craft room and I grabbed this piece of 14 count Aida and I grabbed, oh, I don't have it within reach, but those like little, I just showed one in my last Flosstube, the little 3-inch faux wood finishing hoop things that I put my friend's Quirky Quaker into. I grabbed one of those, it was my last one. And so I bring this and the hoop downstairs and I sat down and I was like, well, I'm pretty sure that this little tiny thing will fit in the 3-inch hoop. But, you got to do your due diligence and do the math. So, especially because I only have a week. Well, I have today, did I say today is Sunday, July 6th? So Sunday, she gets in next Monday on the 14th, but I'm probably not going to see her till the 15th. So, but still, like, if I need something to finish this, I need to order it pronto. So I was like, let me do my due diligence and make sure it's going to fit in this hoop. So I do the math. It's like, excuse me, it's like 27 inches wide or something like that. And 35, did I say 27 inches? I'm tired. I don't know if I just said that or not. It's 27 stitches wide and like 35 stitches tall. And when I put that in the calculator divided by 14, like both measurements were like basically 2 inches or a little bit under. And I was like, that's so tiny. I was like, I wonder how big it would be if I stitched it over 1. And then, so when I was up in the craft room, I had been looking for my glue because I need to glue some magnets to some pens that I had somebody grind the backs off for me. And I was like, I saw this little thing, which you don't have a good view of it, but it's like one of those little tiny hoop things that you can put a finished cross stitch in. And I was like, what if Lord, sorry. what if I stitch it over one and then make it into a necklace using this little hoop thing? And I was like, okay, I would hate my life choices, but I might have to do that because, like, I'm sorry, but that's just so cool. So I went back upstairs and I got this thing and I was like, I think it's a little small. And I was like looking them up online. I did the math and it was like side to side, it's like 0.85 inches. And this was talking about 32 count. And then like up and down, it's like 1.0, like you could maybe round up to 1.1 inches. I'm not even sure you could. But I was like, this looks too small. And so also there was like a crack on the side and I was like, I don't think I can use this thing. So then I got on Amazon and I was like, you know, show me like, what did I put in? I was like, I think I put in like cross stitch pendants or cross stitch necklace pendants. And I found it's like a whole little kit. It was very cheap. But it's like a kit to do embroidery pieces inside these pendants. And I was like, that looks perfect. So I hit order, add to cart, order. Those will be here in like tomorrow. And then look what I did. So I grabbed this piece of, this is 32 count white Jobelin, and it was actually, you can see some of the stitching through it. This was like an old abandoned whip, and I had just left the fabric in my stash, so I cut off a piece, and y'all, look what I did. Look what I did. Look what I did. You're not ready. He's so cute. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Look at him. Look at him. He is 570 stitches. I did him in 6 hours. I gotta tell you, patterns like this just activate something in my brain that like does not allow me to set them down. Like for real, I cannot take a pattern that has like less than, I'd say 700, or that has, yeah, like less than 700 stitches. And especially when like every color is only, some of these colors only had like 10 stitches, but what made up like 70% of the pattern was 3 colors that only had between about 100 and 160 stitches, because I will just like take one strand and color complete the first color, and then I'll color complete the next color. And by the time I've done that, it feels like I'm so close to a finish that I will just power through and do the whole thing. And that's what I did. And then especially because I was doing this over one, a strand was literally, even if I had to do 160 stitches, that was just one strand for me. So this was 10 strands of floss. Every single strand that I did was a color complete. So the fact that I could complete a color with one strand of floss was like, oh, it just made my brain so happy. And all I kept thinking about, I'm gonna make a meme. I will insert it, but I'm gonna describe it to you anyway. So if you've seen the meme that is like, Netflix, do you want to watch a 10-hour movie? Me, no. Netflix, what if we break it up into 1-hour segments and you watch them all at once? Me, you son of a bitch, I'm in. So this to me was like, do you want to stitch 600 stitches in one setting? Me, no. My project, what if you stitch 10 strands of floss and every time every strand of floss is a color complete? Me, you son of a bitch, I'm in. So I'm gonna make a meme that says something to that effect with this as the image. I will insert it into the video. But oh my god, he's so cute. There are 10 colors in this thing. But I tell you, La Selva design, like, their shading is on freaking point. On point. So I am so tickled with this. Tiny stitches make me very giddy. Just do not ask me to frog them, please. I think back here the lighting is a little bit more accurate for it. Tiny stitches just make me so giddy, but yeah, like I said, don't ask me to frog them. I did not make any mistakes in this project. That makes me very happy. And yeah, so I will update you when this is a fully finished item. Yeah, if my friend is okay with it, I'll take a picture of her holding it and add it to the vlog. But yeah, I'm so pleased. And when I get back to stitching, I'll be going back to my Christmas in July stitching. That's it for this clip. See you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone, Danielle here. Today is Wednesday, July 9th. I almost said June. And I am setting down my Home Alone SAL. This is the first piece that I decided to work on for Christmas in July. I had so this was a SAL that was released by Hoops and Crosses UK on Instagram and last year, and I just had to join it when I saw it. I think it was a kit you could buy. I can't remember for sure, but I know that I jumped on, like I bought the PDF after maybe only 2 parts had been released, I think, and then got the 3rd part when it was released, and I started stitching it like right away. And so in November, December last year, I got part 1 done, which was Home Alone, this border, van, paint cans, Kevin, and the hat, and the snowflakes that you see up here. So when I picked this up, I added the sweater, which I gotta say, I did totally in the wrong color. It's supposed to be a blend of 814, which isn't called for anywhere else in the pattern, and then either 666 or 321. But like, my floss for this project has been so disorganized that I did not realize that I didn't have 814 in the project bag, and I had a red floss that was unlabeled, and I thought, oh, that must be it. And so I did the blend of those 2 flosses thinking that that was, 814 and the other floss. It was not. It was 321 and 666, which are, this is 321 here and this is 666. So that sweater's supposed to be much darker, but whatever. It was not coming out after I realized the mistake. So I stitched the sweater, the tarantula, the door, the blowtorch, the trash can and shovel, the toothbrush, and then keep the change, you filthy animal. You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more. I'm a criminal, and les incompetents, and then all the snowflakes. I've been working on this now for about a week. I had picked it up when I started stitching on the 3rd or 4th, was the first day of July that I put any stitches in. And then I worked on it until I decided to do that little capybara. And then I picked it back up. So worked on it for about a week to get this done. I didn't add up how many stitches I added, but now the project has like a little less than 900 stitches left in total. And there's not too much backstitch in the 3rd part. So this will be a planned finish for the November, December time frame of this year, because it should be a pretty quick, easy finish. Just another week put into it, maybe less, maybe 5 days would be great. But yeah, so I love this. It's so cute. And I actually, overnight, I watched Home Alone while I stitched on it, so that was fun. I do plan to backstitch Home Alone, maybe in $37.99, or like this, whatever this darker gray color is. Yeah, probably this darker gray color. I don't think it needs to be $37.99 is this outline of the sweater. I don't think it needs to be that dark, but it shows up great right here. But it does not show up very well when you back up from the piece. So it needs to be backstitched. And also, this was the first part of the pattern that called for some French knots, and y'all, I am just not a fan. I did these 2 down here first, and then I did this one, and this one gave me such a hard time that I was just like, no, we're done here. I'm going back to my normal strategy, which is I just try to put in like a little tiny X, like splitting the eta. So I might, when I come back to this, I might rip these 3 French knots out, you know, tuck the tails and restitch whatever I have to restitch. But I don't know, like they're so messy, but like if you look at it from further back, it's okay. I just don't love like that there will be inconsistencies between having French knots and having the little X's. Oh, and then also there is a button that is supposed to go right here to be like the red hot door handle. I don't have a button small enough. I asked the designer where they sourced it, so hopefully I'll get an answer back about that. And you know, we'll see. I might have to put a bead there. But yeah, so I'm done with this for now. I'm gonna put it away till the holiday season and it'll be a finish then. I'm gonna start Big City Christmas. I was gonna like quote unquote eat my vegetables first and work on both of my existing whips, which would have meant working on the Nutcracker by RATM first before I started anything. But right now is like the 1-year anniversary of when I was in New York for the first time. I flew to New York on July 5th, and then I think I came home on the 13th. I'm not sure, but it was somewhere between like the 12th and the 14th. And so we're right like in the anniversary time frame of my trip to New York. So not my winter one, obviously, but still. So I want to start that. So I am going to gonna get my Q-snap loaded up. When I was at Acorns last, I had my fabric cut. I had bought a yard of fabric and I had it cut up into 4 pieces, and I have 3 projects that I'm gonna do on that fabric. And the other piece is big enough that it's practically a fat quarter, so it'll just go into my stash. And I bought all the floss, all the fancy floss for it, and I'm gonna start it. So I'm gonna load up the fabric, sort out my floss, and yeah, I'm gonna get going. I don't know how much I'll get done this morning, but we'll see. I want to work on it for several days at least, and then I'm thinking the next thing I want to do is after starting that is Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe. Her birthday is the 16th, and she does like a Hello from Liz Matthew start, or works on her whips from Hello from Liz Matthew. And at first I was like, oh, I won't be able to participate this year because I don't have any Christmas Hello from Liz Matthew whips. And then I was like, but you wanted to start the star pillow. So I want to start that. I don't think I can start it on her birthday though, because I have a friend in from out of town on her birthday. And so we're either going to start it like just before or just after, but that's going to be my next thing, is start the star pillow. So yeah, I'm gonna get going on these plans, and I'll see y'all in the next clip. Bye. Hey y'all, Danielle here. It is just barely, like we're talking 5 minutes past midnight, Friday, July 18th, and I am checking in because apparently I'm gonna put this down. This is Big City Christmas by Country Cottage Needleworks. This is a 16 count fiber on a whim in the colorway Latte. And I'm stitching all of the pieces on one long piece. There's 7 charts. And I got this far. I don't remember how many stitches this is. I feel like it's over 1,500, but definitely not 2,000. And like, pardon my hanging threads, I was stitching, so I had gotten like to a certain point, and then my friend came into town, the one that I stitched the capybara for, and we did a day where not a full day, but several hours where we stitched in her hotel. And so I didn't have my tablet, and so once I finished this onion skin color, I didn't actually know where to take it down here, so I just parked it. And then I only had like a few stitches of this border of the sign to do, but the back stitch is in that, but I didn't want to do the back stitch without my pattern, so I just parked that thread too. You can see it's still on the needle. But that was on Tuesday that I did these stitches, but mainly when I was in her room, I filled in all of this onion skin color, and I filled in this whole white box, and I did a few other stray stitches too that I knew what color went where, but I didn't have my tablet with me. Then, so it was Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we went to the beach, and I took stitching, but I didn't actually stitch. So then we came back on Thursday, which is effectively for me still today, even though it's Friday. And I wanted to, excuse me, y'all. We have been just running. Like, that's what I do on vacation is like, I just go, 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 go until I drop. And so so I'm like hosting her while she's on vacation. And so we have been like, go, 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 going. But, so I came home and I wanted to start the Hello from Liz Matthews, Winter Wonderland Star Pillow, and this is also the same 16 count latte from Fiber on a Whim. And I literally, so this was on the 17th, like at 11 p.m. I put in these 20 stitches. Right now I have to stay up till a certain time to do a thing I have to do, but I'm like too tired. I do not have the capacity to stitch right now. But I wanted to start it, and I started it for, excuse me, I started it for Stephanie's birthday from Cross Stitch the Globe. It was a start or work on Hello from Liz Matthews patterns, and I'd been planning to start this month anyway. So it was a day late because her birthday was on the 16th, but that was the day that I did not stitch. I definitely wasn't taking a new start with me. But yeah, so I got to start. That's where we are right now. Today, tomorrow, whatever, after I sleep, my friend and I are going to go to Acorns and Threads so she can go to a real life cross stitch shop. And then I will be home plenty early. I'll definitely work on this some more tonight, tomorrow night, whatever. I don't think I'm going to get everything I wanted to get done this month, because obviously I would like to work on this for a little bit. I wanted to start the 3D Gingerbread House by Tiny Modernist. And also I wanted to get stitches into the Nutcracker by RETM. And it's been sitting here next to me on my table all month. I pulled it out when I pulled out the Home Alone whip. But I think that might be what I let go of, because I had wanted to, in September, I wanted to work on all of my birthday starts. And that is a birthday start. So I think I might let go of doing working on the Nutcracker in July and just save it for September. But yeah, we shall see, because I only have, you know, like 13 days left in the month, and I usually like to work on stuff for about a week. So that doesn't even give me a week, you know, for the star pillow and a week for the gingerbread house. So we'll see. I'm just gonna do what I want, when I want, how I want. You know how I roll. So yeah, that is it for this clip, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hey y'all. Today is Thursday, July 24th, and I'm checking in for my stopping point on Winter Wonderland Star by Hello from Liz Matthews. I started this in part because I wanted to start it for Christmas for July, and I also started it, I was a day late, but I started it for Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe. Her birthday was on the 16th, and she was doing a Hello, It's My Birthday sale, and so that's start or work on Hello from Liz Matthews patterns. So I got, I did 1,267 stitches. I'm 55% complete. In theory, this was like a very like start and finishable pattern, but y'all, there's too much starting and stopping. Yeah, just, it was kind of funny. I knew what the pattern looked like, obviously, but then like when I actually put the fabric on the Q-snap and like pulled the flosses out, and then I was like looking at it in terms of like, okay, where am I gonna start? I was like, this is gonna suck. Like, yeah, it's gonna suck. And yeah, so, but yeah, so this is how much I did. It took me a little bit to get into it, but I feel like I had a pretty good last couple days with it. But I'm just done. I'm ready to move on. In order to kind of finish this top part, because there's like 2 trees and another one of these Quaker doodads like right about here. And then of course there's more like white snowflakes, which totally ghosts on this fabric, but whatever, it's fine. So there's like more white snowflakes, and then there's a doodad and 2 trees. And then all that's really left is like, you can kind of see, you know, the shape of the star coming together. Like these red stitches that look like they're out in the middle of nowhere, those are the points of the star. So, yeah, like I kind of wanted to power through, get those 2 trees done and this doodad and put in more white, but nah, ready to move on. So yeah, I'm going to start the Tiny Modernist 3D gingerbread house. And yeah, I'm gonna start that. I'm also gonna hope to get 50% of the way done, and then I feel very primed to then in November and December have 3 finishes, because I should be able to finish this with only 1,000 stitches left. I hope to then finish the other 50% of the gingerbread house, and I have my Home Alone sal primed for a finish as well, with like about 1,000, I think I had 1,000 stitches or 900 something stitches left, plus backstitch, but that was a much lighter section for backstitch. So yeah, I could have 3 finishes, and then I would just go back. Well, I only had 1 Christmas whip before this month, which was RATM, the Nutcracker, so I would still have that because that's a huge whip, as well as now I'll have Big City Christmas. So having 2 huge ass Christmas whips feels okay. But yeah, so Gonna switch it up now. I don't think I'll get any stitching done this morning. I've done almost 600 stitches since I started stitching, like about 9 hours ago, 10 hours ago. Obviously I've had some breaks in there, but so I feel like I'm kind of done for the morning. But I will get it queued up and ready to go, and I will check in. I feel like if I get the half done really quick, then I will pull out the nutcracker and put in a few stitches. But if I don't, then I'm just gonna, do that through the end of the month and then switch to August stuff. So see y'all in the next clip. Bye. Hey y'all, today is Thursday, July 31st. It's basically the end of July, and I have wrapped up my Christmas and July stitching with this. Basically, I've got the first half of the 3D gingerbread house done. I did the front panel, and then that side over there, I think as you're looking at it, is the right side. And that was basically exactly 50% of the project. Yeah, like, this is gonna be so cute. But y'all, the color changing game got strong. I basically did all the white on the front of the house because then I was like, then I can go anywhere. But yeah, like, it was rough. And then the back stitch, it was a lot of back stitch, but like especially back stitching the whole door and windows was so tedious. But this is so cute. I'm really gonna love it when it's done. My plan is to pull it back out for like November, December stitching and hopefully finish it. That is also the plan for the Home Alone sale that I worked on this month, as well as the star pillow, because I got 50% of the way through that. I don't think I said, but I'm stitching this on 14 count Picture This Plus gingerbread fabric. And yeah, so that's that. I worked on 4 Christmas projects, I guess, because I did Home Alone, Big City Christmas, Winter Wonderland Star Pillow, and then 3D gingerbread house. I also did that capybara necklace for my friend, which if I haven't put a picture in, I will. I totally did not film like it after I made it a necklace. I have a picture of how it turned out, and then I took a picture of my friend wearing it. But yeah, so that's what I worked on this month. I haven't totaled anything up yet. I'm pretty sure that I broke 6,000 stitches, but I didn't get as far as I would have wanted to get. I still have today. We'll see how many stitches I get today. Yeah, but I wanted to get more stitches, but I did not. But yeah, I did see a week though with 2,000 stitches, and I hadn't had a week with 2,000 stitches since like March, so that felt really good. So now what I'm going to work on is I have some obligation stitching to do. I am part of, good enough. I am part of a round robin with, I've been doing this this is the 3rd year. So if you're not new here, I am part of Team 14 Count with Mandy and Michelle and Megan. Excuse me. And we are doing sort of like whip my whips type situation. And this piece, these pieces, I should say, are they are words. Why are words not coming to me? They're Michelle's pieces. And when Michelle sent these off, she had everything in here done except those 2 flower petals over there. Mandy stitched those, and basically it's a highly variegated thread, and Michelle just wasn't happy with like the stripy look of the flowers, and so wanted some help to, even those out. But so all that's left on here is flower petals. And so I'm gonna start with this piece, and then, hold please. So this is the other piece that Michelle sent, because this flower piece was, you know, not very much stitching at all. So we were like, yeah, send another piece. Basically, this is a Nora Corbett pattern, Evanora, and all she needs is beads. And there is like some backstitch and stuff that goes between like the hat and the neck chest area. But I think, so I warned everybody, I was like, I'm not much of a beader. But Megan was like, I love to bead. So my plan is I'm going to do a fairly substantial amount of the flowers and not do as many beads. But like, it looks so pretty. Those beads are really, really sparkly. It's going to be really pretty. So I think I'm going to kind of focus down here on these beads down here a little bit, and then Megan will get to bead to her heart's content. But yeah, so these are the two pieces that I need to do for Michelle to send them to Megan. And then there's just one more piece left to come to me, which is Megan's piece. Mandy has it right now. And yeah, so this is our round robin, and I'm gonna knock out these stitches over the next few days. I'm hoping to only spend maybe 5 days on these pieces combined, and then get to some of my August plans, because I feel like I have big plans for August. I want to, let's see, I want to start 2 pieces. I want to start the other kit, or the other project that I kitted up at Stitch North, which is Ode to a Good Dog by Maximum Cross Stitch. And want to get that started. I also want to start a Sampler of the Sea, I think it's called, by Carriage House Samplings. I bought that and kitted it up when I was at Stitch New England last year in October, and like August just feels very beachy and summery to me still, so I would like to start that piece. And then I think I would maybe like to pull out my Orca piece and finish it. There's less than 1,200 stitches left. I think, I really hope I could give it one good push and get it finished. And then other than that, I am not totally sure. I have been feeling a little bit like pulling out Forest Home and get some more work done on that. That would be the second time pulling it out this year. But yeah, those, so we'll see. I do definitely feel like I want to start those starts. I would really just like to get that Orca piece off my list, if I'm being totally honest. It's probably my least favorite fabric that I'm working on, but like I'm so close. Like I have to finish it, you know? But yeah, so those are my August plans. If you've made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I was thinking, so I would like you to let me know if you would like to see this video or not. I was, a Flosstuber got recommended to me from the algorithm, and her channel name is What Nadine Made. And I guess she's actually a relatively new cross-stitcher, but she's had her channel since before she was cross-stitching, because she likes to sew and quilt and like knit, crochet, etc. But she just did a video recently where she was like, what's on my bucket list to cross-stitch? And it just made me start thinking, like, I have a bunch of projects that I'm so like in love with the idea of stitching, but I haven't started them yet, for one reason or another. Like, and so I was thinking of maybe doing like a top 10 bucket list video of what I would like to stitch, and then probably like mentioning the reasons why I haven't started it yet. I mean, mainly because like they're either big or they're beading or something to that nature. But yeah, I just thought that would be a fun video to do. I kind of wanted to do a mid-year whip parade, but then I also kind of didn't want to do a mid-year whip parade. And so I feel like doing that video might like scratch that itch a little bit of doing some kind of extra content. But let me know if you want to see that. Drop it in the comments below. And I'm going to close out this vlog, and you will see my progress on these two pieces and at the end of August / beginning of September. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, all those good YouTubey things. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.